Hello beautiful dragon people, it's me, your pal Vero, here to bring you some more Dragon Prince content to tide you over till the next season is finally released. Season 3 was released well over a year ago, which means that it's kind of overdue for me to do a, predictions video or kind of thing. I don't usually like to make theory videos because I don't like to treat the Dragon Prince like it's some kind of puzzle that needs to be solved. You know, I just kind of like to enjoy the ride of the story. But I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll make a list of the top 10 things that I would like to see, and maybe I'll call it a predictions video, and we can get more views. Oh, by the way, do you like my new decorations? You can now see my ring light back there, but no matter where I move my light, it just appears in somebody else's thing. So, hopefully that won't be super distracting. Anyway, let's get serious. This is serious Vero time. Is that squeaky noise really distracting? God, I'm a bad YouTuber. I'm so bad at being a YouTuber. Let's get right into it. Number 10, more politics. Now that the egg of the Dragon Queen has been returned, things are looking up for human and dragon relations. But I suspect that the centuries of conflict that have transpired and the many wrongs that were done on both sides are going to cause lingering conflicts, even though the main leaders of both the magical races and the human race have come to some kind of peace. I suspect that the other kings and queens of the human kingdoms are not going to be so easily satisfied with the return of the dragon egg, and are not going to easily forget the centuries of war. Besides, they were just attacked by elven assassins, and they didn't even know that it was Viren who sent them. So I feel like that might be kind of fresh in their minds. Plus, King Alling's son, 𝐀𝐧𝐝, was kind of murdered in a battle that just happened. So I don't know how forgiving a lot of these people are going to be, but I'm really interested to see some more of that political side kind of come into the show some more. Oh, I also suspect that Sol Regum, who is basically everyone's racist grandpa at Thanksgiving, will refuse to accept the peace between the dragons and the humans, and will still cause problems at the border. I think that the road to a lasting peace has been laid, but it's going to take some time before they have a true lasting peace. Number 9, a split narrative. The show usually only has a split narrative of 3 different perspectives. In Season 3, Episode 9, The Final Battle, all the different narratives converged together at the Storm Spire. Before that, there was the Callum Reunion Ezran story going alongside with the Soren Claudia and Viren Eravos stories. In the next season, I would like to see even more divergent plot lines with even more characters. I think that the characters being split up will be a great opportunity to explore the characters in different contexts that we have not seen them before. For example, I would like to see Rayla meet some new characters who maybe aren't so passive, and we'll see what she has to do in a more tense situation. Maybe it'll be more complex and she doesn't have the mild-mannered princess, but now she's dealing with some hard-headed kind of companions. Or maybe Callum could have an interesting storyline where he's spending his time with a bunch of uptight elven sky mages, and he struggles to fit in with these otherwise very serious beings with his goofy personality. I think that keeping the characters split up could be a great opportunity to explore them and introduce new characters, and make the moment when they finally do reunite even more satisfying. Eravos New Form. At the conclusion of the 3rd season, Eravos is seen in some kind of strange cocoon. I'm really curious exactly what form he is going to take, and what kind of new powers he might have. Is he going to come out a fully formed star-touched elf like we've seen him in the mirror, or is he going to come out as some kind of insect monster? I don't really know, but what I do suspect is he's going to come out with the ability to cast way more magic than he's been able to cast so far. I suspect that slowly but surely his reliance on Viren is going to lessen and lessen, and that's going to eventually lead to some kind of conflict between the two of them. Number 7, Claudia and Eravos' relationship. I don't really mean a romantic relationship, I just mean a relationship in general. what is Claudia going to think of Eravos? I've been thinking a lot about this and trying to put myself in the mind of Claudia. I believe that she will not trust him because he's pretty shady and she seems like a pretty smart girl. But that she will go along with him so far as her father reassures her that it is worth allying with him for the time being to grant access to his power. I would like to see some kind of rapport grow between the two of them as he slowly tempts her closer to the dark side. Then when Viren is no longer a factor, she and he will be a force like 𝐀𝐧𝐝 has never seen before. Number 6. Who is Viren now? Speaking of Viren, I'm really curious about where his character is going to go from now. He has kind of completed his arc as the great human conqueror. Now he's kind of nothing anymore. He's barely a father as his other kid hates him. He's not really a king, and he's not even the High Mage of 𝐀𝐧𝐝 anymore. I suspect that he's going to have some kind of identity crisis. I think that his death is going to make him face some of the decisions that he's made and reconsider them. Hopefully this will lead him to making better decisions in the future and maybe even joining the good guys at some point. That would be pretty cool. It seems to me that Viren's main motivations were fear and hubris. But he's kind of faced his fears. I mean, he died. That's about as bad as you can get. And he still came back. And as far as his hubris goes, he failed in his task to conquer 𝐀𝐧𝐝. So it's time for him to re-examine his motivations and hopefully he can become the man that Harrow believed him to be. Number 5. Ezran the Diplomat. Back to the politics side of things, I believe that King Ezran could have his own separate storyline from everyone else, where he's trying to maintain the peace that he and the Dragon Queen had come to. It won't be easy, but perhaps with the backing of Queen Anya, he will be able to keep the humans in check. I can picture a scene in my mind where he has gathered all of the Pentarchy and some of the Archdragons are even present at that location. And they will bicker and argue about past wrongs and demanding restitution for said wrongs, while Ezran tries to calm everyone down before another war can begin. Number 4. Rex Ignis. Speaking of Archdragons, there is one that was included in Callum's spellbook that a lot of us are very excited to see in the show. Rex Ignis. He is an earth dragon and it is said that he lives deep underground beneath the mountain and only comes to the surface every 1,000 years. Perhaps the reason why he comes to the surface this time is because he is summoned by the archdragon 𝐻𝐽 to meet with the human kings and queens to negotiate a lasting peace. He has a very interesting design, and I love how his wings are more similar to that of a wyvern than of the dragons that we've seen so far on the show, and it makes me really excited to meet other archdragons in the show. Many of you guys who follow me on social media know that I really want to see a star dragon. And with the introduction of Rex Ignis, perhaps there's hope that we will be seeing other archdragons in Season 4 as well. Number 3. Earth Magic. Alright, so I think it's high time we figure out what Earth Magic is and what it's going to look like, because so far my headcanon has been that it's just earthbending from Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I'm really curious to see how similar from that it's going to end up being. Will the runes be written out in the air like sky and moon magic, or will it have to be written in the dirt in order to cast Earth Primal Magic? Is Ezran's gift of understanding animals somehow connected to the Earth Primal somehow? These are the things that I really want to see explored in Season 4. Number 2. Rayla and Callum reuniting. This is the thing that I think all of us can agree on. At the conclusion of the Through the Moon graphic novel, Rayla leaves Callum to search for Viren on her own. A decision that I'm sure will lead to some very bad consequences for her. I would like to see them be reunited by the end of the 4th season, but like I said earlier, I am hoping for them to have a separate storyline for at least most of the season. I would like to see them be interacting with other characters separate from each other. I think it would be a really great way to get to know the characters in a whole new light. Plus, the time apart is going to make the reunion even more Rayla-mrific. Just made that up. Not my script. Number 1. Eravos' backstory. The number one thing that I want to see in the 4th season is Eravos' backstory. He's been around in the show for 2 seasons now, and we really don't know anything about him. Part of what's so interesting about him is the mystery surrounding his origin and his intention, but I would still like to know a little bit more about the context of his actions. It definitely seems from the way that he relished the corruption of the Sun Nexus and the killing of Queen 𝐀𝐧𝐝 that he's definitely on a quest of vengeance. So I would like to know more about what set him on this path and what exactly that key of his does. Alrighty, so that was my list. What did you guys think? What are you guys most looking forward to in Season 4? As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, maybe click that like button. Maybe click one of these... Oh, that's not going to be the right side. Maybe click one of these videos over here. I got a cool little playlist where you can watch me laugh hysterically at Dragon Prince related content. Or this video, which YouTube has recommended just for you. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm off to rewatch the Dragon Prince. See ya.